Hey guys, what's wrong here? And I'm gonna talk about how to give flashes to your teammates properly in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I see way too many times where people just give horrible flashes that which ends up in killing your own teammates, or it's just you just waste time. So if you're like the passive supporty type of player that knows every smoke, every nade, then these flashes should be extremely helpful in both solo queue and rank fives. um, or five-man pre-mates. So let me just give you a couple examples. So let's say like this pot flash right here into mid.
Throwing flashbang.
It's one of the most common pot flashes. That's that right
Deploying
there.
flashbang.
You come out to kill this guy who's blind, right? Well, the higher level you get, LEM, Supreme, Global, the higher level you get, these players start working on sound cues. So once they hear a grenade hitting the wall, they're just gonna automatically turn, and they might not even be blind from that. So as a support player, what you could do is help your entry players go out and entry by giving these support flashes. Makes zero sound cues, literally impossible to dodge. This guy is 100% dead unless he decides to spam while he's blind and he gets a lucky headshot on you. There's no sound cue whatsoever, impossible to dodge, and your entry players go out and help you. Technically, you don't get an assist because you didn't do any damage, but you essentially gave him a free kill, and he's still, he should still be 100 HP. So that's these are some of the ways you could give out support flashes. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're CT and you're playing long. You don't want to just flash out like this. For some reason, I see this so much, even in like high level games. I mean, in global, it almost never happens, but like in like LEM and stuff, it's like people are like have good aim but are brain dead. So they'll flash like this. If you have friends coming out, I mean, you're gonna blind your teammates. Like it's and if the terrorists decide not to peek at that time, or like let's say they didn't even have spawn, so that flash goes off, your teammates are blind, and it just so happens Counter-Strike timing, they come out after and they kill your teammates. You've essentially killed your teammates with a flash like that. And I showed you a cheeky flash in my other video where you can flash like this. You don't want to give that flash when your teammates are coming out long, because it's very common in high level play to stack 2 or 3 long at the beginning of the round and then have 2 players, like fall back and watch cat. So you don't want to give a flash like that. Like, come on, man. The kind of flash you want to give is this flash right here. Alright? Is this flash right here. So you can see anyone up close, they're not going to get blinded. So all they have to do is like look towards the wall and then come out and peek once that flash pops. It could be, again, I'm gonna show it to you one more time. So you can see where it pops right here. So if you have any oppers like scoped in, maybe has a spawn, he's scoped in, he's gonna get blinded, he's gonna have to fire the shot and fall back. While your friend right here, he gets the peek without having to really turn away. So you don't want to give a flash if it's like the start of the round, you want long control, you don't want to flash like this. Again, because you have a bunch of friends, going out, peeking like that. So you don't want to make them turn around, especially if it's solo queue. This is so hard to communicate. Even if you're yelling, I'm flashing, I'm flashing, I'm flashing, I'm flashing, there's a good chance they're not going to look away. So this is a very good way to give a flash without killing your teammates. It's actually helping your team without killing them. Another flash I like to do, so let's say we have strong long control. So let's say we have a guy pit, guy here, right? Maybe even here, right? I'm not gonna, if they're fighting, I'm not gonna give them this flash, because the pit guy is gonna get destroyed by this flash. So if he's looking this way, the pit guy is gonna get destroyed. He's gonna get flashed and he's gonna have to go down. He's like, what is that flash? They're gonna be complaining. And even a guy here, if he's like back here, he might get blinded. It's just not a good flash to throw when they're fighting. So depending on where my teammates are, if a guy is in pit and a guy is here, I might throw a flash like this behind them. So if it's behind them, the pit guy, you can see where that is. The pit guy's not going to get blinded, right? And this guy, if he's up close, or if he's like hiding like this, maybe waiting for first contact, he's not going to get blinded either. So I'll just say, hey, I'm going to flash behind you, flashing behind you. like that. So you can see from terrace perspective, if they decided to come out, um, that you can see that they're completely blind. So it's a very effective pop flash. It's very good supportive flash in general. Another example, let's say you're playing heavy cat control. You guys have strong cat presence, and you guys gave up long. So you have a guy watching the cross from CT, maybe even a guy elevator, or a guy, like first box like this, just dancing around. If you have strong cat control, you don't want to flash like this.
Flashbang.
Because you could blind your guy CT, you could blind your guy elevator, and even this guy, if he's holding like an off angle, you could blind your team. It just depends on the trajectory of your grenade. So you don't want to flash like that, you could kill your teammates. The way you want to flash is down ramp. I think I missed that flash.
Deploying flashbang.
Ramp like that. So you could see, it could still flash these guys. Usually they're not gonna turn away from something like this. They can, but it's rare because if they turn away, then they might die. Or if they do turn away, then it's a good peak timing because you flash and then your friends peek with it. So that's how you want to flash. That's a safe flash. You're not blinding your teammates, and it's actually very effective.
Throwing flashbang.
Right? Another example. Let's say you lost B or you're fighting B, right? Let's say you're fighting B. So you're like a mid player and you're peeking mid. They're like B B B B B B, right? You don't want to give this flash. That is probably one of the worst flashes you could give. So thankfully that one landed in front of the red box, so that's probably not gonna blind your teammates. But most people just throw flashes like that. You're killing your teammates. If you flash like that, you're literally killing your teammates. Anyone here, you're gonna get blind. Anyone here is gonna get blinded. You're just blinding your whole team. Anyone car, just gonna get completely blinded. So you don't want to just give out a flash like this. Like, it's honestly like ridiculous to give a flash like that. So anyone peeking like this, blind. Anyone peeking like this, blind. The way you want to flash, if you're helping your teammate, is or if they're fighting, is to flash behind them. So instead of killing your teammates, you're actually helping your teammates. Anyone here is not going to get blind. It's going to flash behind me. So I can keep fighting with this. Anyone here, I can keep fighting with this. Anyone back plat, I can keep fighting with this. The only person that might get blind is this close car person. So you would have to communicate that. But in high level play, usually there's no one car, just simply because it's so risky. So there's like a guy window. So if there's a guy, so if there's a rush, you usually have one guy in sight, anywhere here, this whole area here, and then you have like a guy playing door. Of course, you can have a guy car, or you can have both sight, but you just have to communicate that. Oh, sorry about all the messages. So that's the kind of flash you want to give. You're gonna kill your teammates. You will literally kill your teammates if you do this. They're gonna take B site. And it's not that they got out aimed. It's just that you blinded your teammates. So again, the flash I like to do is behind them. And then you could come out and help. They're probably gonna be crossing. They're gonna be blind. So you help get the crossfire going. So that's how you want to give flashes. Same thing if you're going up on cat. This is a set pop flash. You can see it pops right there. It's a beautiful pop flash. Blinds here. Blinds anyone close. Blinds anyone here. It's just a very beautiful pop flash which you could do. But then again, please have the awareness. If your friend is already up here, you don't want to give that flash. Same thing with this flash right here, where you go ahead, flash, and take the site. If your friends are already crossing cat, and you're like the third player out, don't give that flash just for you, okay? Because you're going to blind these two guys, who could potentially get the kill, on their own, without your help. But when they're already across cat, and you flash like this is so painful. You are essentially throwing the round for your team. So just again, try to have that awareness. Good flashes, you could essentially win your team the round, help hold B, help hold A. Bad flashes, if you give bad flashes, you could literally kill your team in the form of blinding them. So the cheeky flashes that I showed you, like on long, Like let's say you're a terrorist, the cheeky flash I showed you here.
Flashbang.
You don't wanna use this flash if you have teammates behind you. If you're alone and you wanna go ahead and get this kill, yeah, that's fine. Or maybe you have another guy behind you and you're like spamming, hey, I'm gonna flash, I'm gonna flash, I'm gonna flash, and hopefully they'll look away from it, and as you chase the guy along. But please have the awareness when you give these flashes, or else you could be throwing very hard. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys become better flashers.